His Excellency the Foreign Minister of the United Kingdom, His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq, reviews ways of cooperation and existing efforts on various levels to curb the spread of the coronavirus pandemic. The Sultan intensifies the coronavirus tests for the residents in the wilayas of Bushehr and Mafrah. 106 new cases of COVID-19 are registered in Salta, with 8 deaths and 238 cases recovered. And the Middle East health ministers review developments of coronavirus COVID-19 in the global and regional levels. Those are the headlines. Now the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq received a phone call from His Excellency Dominic Raab, Foreign Minister of the United Kingdom. During the conversation, they reviewed the ways of cooperation between the two countries in the framework of strong ties binding the two countries and existing efforts on various levels to curb the spread of the coronavirus pandemic and reduce its effects. The Directorate General of Health Services in the Governorate of Muscat announced the start of COVID-19 laboratory tests for the residents who are showing symptoms of the disease. The tests start daily next to Holiday Inn in Al-Ghala in the Wilaya of Bushehr from 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. except for Fridays. The Ministry of Health announced 106 new confirmed cases of COVID-19, which brings the total number registered in the Sultanate to 1,614, including 8 deaths. The Ministry of Health stresses that 238 cases have been recovered.
Within the efforts to limit the spread of COVID-19, the Ministry advises all citizens and residents to keep on washing hands with water and soap. Avoid touching the face, nose, mouth and eyes. Follow hygienic habits when coughing and sneezing. Adhere strictly to social distancing instructions. Stay at home and not to go out unless absolutely necessary. Adhering to isolation and social distancing will prevent you, your family, and the community from COVID-19. Stay safe.
Middle East health ministers reviewed today through the video conference developments of coronavirus COVID-19 in the global and regional levels. The meeting dwelt on the experience of the countries in the region to combat this pandemic, in addition to statistics of the recorded cases of the virus. The meeting was chaired by His Excellency Dr. Ahmed bin Salim al-Mandari, Director of World Health Organization for the Middle East. The Sultanate was represented during the meeting by His Excellency Dr. Ahmed Mohammed al-Saidi, Minister of Health. Royal Hospital launched a virtual clinic service which enabled patients to contact with doctors through a phone call in order to assess the situation and put the appropriate treatment plan. The service is available for patients in some of the medical specializations according to the assessment of the attending doctor. This service enabled the largest number of patients to make contact with a doctor, especially those living in places that are far from Muscat and who find it difficult to attend the hospital. The service includes an e-application which sends text message to patients and provide them with details of the timing and day of treatment through the virtual clinic. Central Bank of Oman CBO issued a circular to all banks and financing companies in the Sultanate. The circulation stated the postponed individual and housing loans provided by the banks and financing companies, and also financing provided by Islamic banks for all kinds of finance, in addition to the personal financing provided to the Omani manpower who their companies reduced their salaries. The postponement period should be for 3 months, starting from the date of postponement. This decision shall come into force starting from May 2020 as salaries and until further notice, and without accounting any additional benefits on the credit of the loan during the postponing period, and without any additional fees besides working on reschedule the loan if necessary. To come our news bulletin. With the advent of the holy month of Ramadan, the Public Authority for Consumer Protection intensifies its monitoring procedures of markets and commercial centers.
Non-compliance with the directives of the Supreme Committee dealing with coronavirus COVID-19 exposes you to risk and legal action. Stay safe.
Welcome back to the news. Muscat municipality stressed that big quantities of livestock of all types will be available at the slaughterhouses in Al-Amarat and Sib during the holy month of Ramadan. It expressed its readiness in terms of health and technical measures to deal with all types of livestock and sell them to consumers, companies and butcher shops. More than 3,760 of livestock was slaughtered during the last 4 days. The municipality has implemented a new system for the purchase of livestock through pre-booking to butcher shops and related companies through an application called Mawashi Oman. Fakubra initiative has started in its 7th edition for 2020. It works to help insolvents, imprisoned, or those for whom an arrest order was issued. The Omani Lawyers Society affirmed that the initiative will concentrate its efforts with the advent of the holy month of Ramadan as to enable the insolvent prisoners to spend the holy month with their families. This humanitarian initiative has succeeded in releasing 673 prisoners from 40 courts during the first 3 months of last version. The Sultan of Oman Radio and Television have prepared its programs and TV series for the holy month of Ramadan. The television programs vary among religious, cultural and social, historical, as to deliver the national media message to the Public Authority for Radio and Television. With a cost of 3.5 million Omani Riyals, the Public Estate Establishment for the Industrial Estates, Madayan, signed an agreement to establish a multiple-use building in Al Mazuna Free Zone with a total area exceeding 11,000 square meters. The project aims to provide all services and facilities that are required by investor and businessman in the zone, as well as enhancing the in-country value and finishing of transactions. The Public Authority for Consumer Protection intensifies its monitoring procedures of markets and commercial centers with the advent of the holy month of Ramadan. The teams of the authority in the Governorate of Al-Lahira are working to monitor the availability of the commodities, their safety, as well as stability of the prices. The authority stresses that legal procedures will be taken against the violators. Meanwhile, huge quantities of foodstuff and other items are available in various markets around the Governorate as the efforts of the Consumer Protection Department continue within the current situation of the spread of COVID-19. This is the Sultan of Oman Television. Before we tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. Through a phone call with His Excellency the Foreign Minister of the United Kingdom, His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq reviews ways of cooperation and the existing efforts on various levels to curb the spread of coronavirus pandemic. The Sultan intensifies the coronavirus tests for the residents in the wilayas of Boshar and Matwah. 106 new cases of COVID-19 are registered and resulted with 8 deaths and 238 cases recovered. And the health ministers of the Middle East review developments of coronavirus COVID-19 in the global and regional levels. And with that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here in the newsroom and the studios, stay safe. Good night.